Top of the morning to ya. If you want a kick-ass coffee mug, you can get them on my store. Look beneath the video somewhere. You'll be able to buy cool shit like this. I am all disheveled this morning. One of you guys were like, why does he stay so, how is he always so well groomed? Oh, that was so cute. Well, not always. I try, but anyways. Hey, this is just us talking, right? You're about to find out why here in a second. But that guy that does all the chopping, Thorin something. I'm about as straight as an arrow, okay? But I know a good-looking man whenever I see one of that mother trucker is a sexy-looking dude, and he's out there chopping wood. I was reading the comments one time, and some dude, he just wrote in there, if my wife walked in on me now and saw me watching this video, I'd have a really hard time explaining why I'm watching it. The reality is we like good-looking people. It doesn't mean you're gay. I can't believe I'm talking about this crap. Yeah, that mother trucker's a good-looking dude, and I'm surprised I'm not seeing him on TV modeling underwear or something like that. No, but I mean, what he's doing is modeling. You know, it's just, if you haven't looked him up, just look up Thorin and then Axe, and I bet you'd find his channel. He's like the best looking dude on the planet. And he's out there chopping wood, and then he and then all of a sudden he goes, oh, and he takes off his suspenders, and I'm like, damn, nice to be young. Young and attractive. I bet you that guy's does okay with the lady folk. Or the men folk, if that's what he's into. Anyways, so why am I just doing this chit-chat video? Well, I came down here to the garage. Typically, whenever it's colder like this, it's been cold in Atlanta. And I know you're going, oh, you're about to see the cold, Bodie. I know. But we all adapt. We figure it out, and I'll figure it out up there as well. If you're just watching this channel and you don't know, I'm moving to New York State. So anyways. But yeah, we've had a real cold snap down here. Normally, I don't need to run my wood burner until December, but I've been running it all November, you know. For the past 2 weeks or maybe more, I've had a wood fire going 24/7, and it's needed. My heat pumps can't keep up. And so I'm like, damn, this is a cold winter. Normally, I don't have to break out my heater for the garage until like January timeframe. But now, so I come down to the shop, I fire up the heater, go back upstairs, have my coffee and stuff, and then come back down here and do some work. But today's a little different because there's only one thing that I've really got to do today as far as chainsaws, and that is I ran the Christmas giveaway saw yesterday, and I ran it in that big chunk of white oak that I've got that's knotted up and just hard as a 15-year-old pecker. So yeah, it's really hard. And I'm not happy with the way it made that saw look, because it's got more power. So I might try and sharpen the chain that's on it. It could use a little bit of sharpening, but even still, I don't think I'm even going to put it in that wood because the chain, it's not dull. It's not a dull chain. It just can't quite cut that oak, and it's just not getting a bite, and so you're seeing dust come off and everything. So I think that maybe I'll strap another bar and chain on it and put it in some pine, just so that we can showcase it a little bit better. But today we start the moving process. Ooh. I got 3 big pods delivered to our property here in Atlanta yesterday. I got a buddy coming over today, and all of the big stuff like couches, desk, that type of stuff that's 2-man pickup. Me and him will get loaded up. My son is coming afterwards, and then we'll probably work on the garage a little bit. But yeah, the moving starts, which means I'm definitely not going to take on any project at all to where I have to tinker around and mess with and build any chainsaws. And nearly everything that I have will get packed up within the next couple of days. And then it's all getting sent up to New York State. So I figured, why not do a little talky talk? I was watching Aaron Lynch break down a 2165 Yonsa Red, and just figured I would make a talky talk video. So here I am, talking. I need to get one of them cups that has a battery in it and it keeps the coffee warm, because I drink my coffee really slow. And I also like my coffee pretty good and warm. Not hot, but pretty good and warm. So yeah, I've thought about getting a little cheap microwave at a yard sale and stuff like that for $15, keeping it down here. But that's just one more thing. I think the way to go for me would be a mug that has the electric heater in the bottom, and you sit it on its base, and the base keeps it charged up, and that keeps your coffee warm. I need to just go ahead and do that. What's going on with y'all? I'm so ready for this move to be over. I got word from the attorney. The last thing that I'm waiting for is title insurance. They told me that, and I was like, do you get that through Progressive? Because I'm thinking insurance. No, it's different. It's different than that. And I don't understand what it even is. But so that could come at any time. They've already put in for it and stuff. And so anyways, I got the word from the attorney and everything. And they're like, yeah, go ahead, move all your stuff because you're set. We'll be closing here shortly. And yeah, move up north. And then with having 3 pods, I should be able to get everything in all those 3 pods. And if you're wondering how much it costs to have 3 big 16-foot pods moved from Atlanta to New York, it's about $7,200. So we were just like, what should we do? Which way should we go with this? Should we get U-Haul, drive it back and forth, blah, 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 all that stuff. And, we ended up on the pods because to get the biggest U-Haul truck, I think it was 24 feet. And just the cost of that would have been like $2,600. And we'd have to do it at least twice. So right there, you're already looking at $5,200 at least. Then there's the staying in a hotel, eating all the food, all the gas and everything. And I'm like, honestly, We might save a little bit of money doing it that way, but it's going to be a lot harder to load them even, because those pods sit right on the ground. It's going to be harder to load them. We're going to have more space getting 3 16-footers than we would have. No, it'd be the same space. It'd be the same space with 3 16-footers as it would be with 2 24-foot trucks. But it'd be just a lot less effort on my part, So that's why we chose the pods. They seem to be a popular option these days. But whenever I get up there to New York, there's like 5 feet of snow on the ground up there. So we got to work out some way to get everything cleared out so that they can even unload those pods. Worst case scenario, they will have to stay in storage until the snow melts and gets to a manageable level. And that sucks. But hopefully it'll all work out. My neighbor up there has been plowing the driveway with his tractor. But my wife was like, it's getting really narrow, and there's no place to put the snow anymore. And he called me and he's like, I can't push it anymore. My tractor just won't do it. And so there's another neighbor that's a big dairy farmer, and is he a dairy? There's a dairy farmer, and then there's a regular cattle farmer. And I think that the regular cattle farmer, he's got 2 big tractors. We're talking the big boys, 150 horsepower, which, if you're familiar with tractors, that's a big mother trucker. I mean, it's huge. You got to get a ladder to climb up into it. Big old tractor. And so he's like, I'll see if Chris can get down here with his big tractor so that we can plow that and clear out a spot for your pods to sit. So that's where we're at with that. Not exactly sure how that's going to go and things. He also says, because I'm planning on, once this place sells, I want to buy an Avant. It's one of those green articulating loaders that has all kinds of attachments for the front of it. I want to get an Avant with a snow blower and other attachments. But he was like, they don't use snow blowers up here. We just plow with our tractors. And I was like, why don't they use snow blowers? He's like, because the snow's too wet and they just clog up. And I don't know. We'll see. I'll figure it out whenever I get up there. But yeah, that's what he's telling me. And my wife is like, I've seen people actively snow blowing, and so maybe sometimes you can use them if the snow is drier, whatever. I don't know. At this point, right now, I don't care. Nothing I can do about it. I got to get up there. But anyways, yeah, so today I'm going to make another quick video of the Christmas chainsaw giveaway saw. And it'll be in pine. That way it'll throw chips and look cooler. That's it. So, yep, just a little quick update video. Ramble, talky talk. Probably not going to be putting out much content over the next few weeks. Months, I don't know. This is going to be an arduous process, and there you have it. I sold my motorcycle to Peter. Peter came down a couple days ago and got my motorcycle. It looks like my sawmill is going to Brennan Cass, and my lathe might be going to Garrett Barker. And so he, I think, is supposed to be here tomorrow on Saturday to pick up the sawmill and the lathe. And so what I'm saying is I'm selling these things. I got a pocket full of cash, and I know that I need to buy a new lathe. And so I'm like, am I going to buy that right away? Or at least a different lathe that might not have to be brand new, but a different one. But I think that I'm going to get a brand new Grizzly lathe. I might get that lathe mill set up where it's got a mill that you can swing into place when you need it. Because I very rarely need a mill. But if I had one, that would be great. So might as well get a 2-in-1 machine. But I do know that typically when you get a 2-in-1, it's not as nice as a two separate dedicated units. I know that, But with the amount of milling that I'm going to do, and I believe that whole head just swings out of the way. Anyways, I'll have to look into that. Give me your feedback. Should I get a 2-in-1 Grizzly lathe, mill, 2-in-1 setup, or should I get just the lathe? And I'm not hung up on the Grizzly. They just seem to be, I've heard about Grizzly for a long time now, and they seem to be really good, high quality units that are also quite affordable. The one that I was looking at had like a 9-inch throw on the table, which is important because you got to have space. I think it had a 9-inch throw. Hell, maybe it had an 11. I don't know. But it was like $2,700. And I'm like, well, I sold my motorcycle for $2,500, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty, that's what I'm looking at, stuff like that. So anywho, but of course I got to buy a jet ski whenever I get up there. All right, that's enough of this ramble. And possibly the next time you see a video of me in this garage, it'll be empty. I don't know. A lot of stuff I'm leaving. A lot of stuff I definitely will not be packing up this trip, and it may just stay here because we'll be selling this place as is, right? So, yeah, if they're like, hey, there's a bunch of paint cans left over, well, that's the way you bought it. So anything that's just junk to me, and I'm like, I don't need that, which I've got a lot of junk. Brennan said it right. Brennan's like, you got too much space is your problem. And he's like, if you didn't have so much room, then you wouldn't have so much junk because it would all fill up. And I'm like, yeah, good point. So the workshop up there in New York, I've decided it will be what the previous owner used as a wood shop. And I'm going to set that up as my chainsaw shop. I was going to do it in the basement, but I've decided against that. It just logistically wouldn't work out going back and forth outside with the chainsaws and stuff. It'd be a lot nicer if it was in the barn. And so it's going to be a nice big shop to work on my chainsaws, but the space will be considerably smaller, and so I'll have to condense everything. And I'm looking forward to it I'm like crazy. I'm like, I can't wait to get up there. And yeah, probably pretty soon I will invite people over that are close to in the area, and that way they and come and help me. Because there's so much wood that's just trash. It's just trash. And so the easiest way to do that is have some folks over and just burn it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up a spot to where we can have a bonfire and just there's all kinds of stuff. There's old furniture that the guy was going to restore. There's just woodworking equipment like table saw slides that are set up for him to do that. But they're old and I'm not going to have a use for them and just burn it. But all that stuff's going to have like screws and nails and things in it. So where I'm going to put it and do the little bonfire, I'll do the bonfire, burn all that shit, and just really open up the garage and do it well. And then I'll go back a few days later after it's all cooled off and dried off, and I'll have one of those magnets on wheels and just go through there and magnet up all the shit, pull it off, put it in a bucket, you know, because I don't want to drive over those nails. But I've got it all planned out, and what I plan on doing is asking y'all, and you know, if you're in the area close, you know, come on out. All we're going to be doing is like, there's going to be shelves. We're just going to chainsaw them off and throw them in a big bonfire, cut that shit up. And I figure if I just had like 5 or 6 guys to come help me out, that'd get done in like half hour. So anyways, there's that. That's what's going on. Figured I'd put out this video and say see ya, and or say hello, and pretty soon see ya, Atlanta.